That's right. I don't see you. Best Eagles Wear Boxing coming up in a second here. Yeah, we in here already. We can come in. But I like to see Maz before I come in. But we're gonna talk about it. Whatever we talk about, that's what we're gonna talk about. Yeah. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see exactly what it do. We're gonna see what it does, how it does it. That's how we gotta look at it. With this boxing right now. Because boxing right now is definitely a spectator sport. It's definitely, well, most sports are spectator. You don't just necessarily participate. They usually don't, like boxers don't usually throw their shoes and stuff and gloves out in the audience or nothing like that. Not like footballs. Like every once in a while you might get blessed up with a football, watching a professional football game or something like that. Or baseball, we already know. Baseball, they just knock it out the fair play, out of fair play, past fair play, home run over the wall or something like that. And you might get a souvenir that way. Yeah. But we're going to talk about certain stuff, it's, I don't know. Boxing news is becoming, it's just getting weird to me. It's becoming old news. And we seem like we're not getting nowhere because of this whole lockdown. And there's some states that's slowly opening up. I happen to be in a state that's not opened up right now, so it is what it is. It's gonna open when it open up. I ain't gonna try to force the hand like, oh, open up. Nope. Yeah, whenever that open up, and then we could go. Then we can talk about these things. Yeah. Talking about what it is, what it does. And we got, I'm looking at something right here just to, I always look at something. I always want to see what people feel, when it comes to like certain fighters and stuff like that, or fighters of the past and stuff like that. Like these fighters of today is always going to get, they always going to get compared. You're supposed to in the first place. And because I'm reading this thing here. This is out of Fight Nights. I'll get to it once you guys get in here. We'll talk about it a little bit. And a couple of these, a few of these fighters we've always talked about. Yeah. And a couple of them, it's like they got 5 in here, so we'll talk about, not necessarily, we're not going to necessarily break them down, but we're going to talk about them just to see what other people's thoughts are about them. Just to see. Yeah. Just to see what you think. If you agree with them or you don't agree with them. Yeah. Look at the. Yeah. No, I'm not stuck for words. It's just that we're gonna just look at some of the fighters. And I think a lot of people will be in agreement. With some of what they put up here. It's just 5. I like doing short lists because when you do short lists, of course there's always going to be an argument when it's short list. If you do a long list, nobody's really going to argue. If you do top 200 boxers, shit. I mean, how much arguments you going to have time you get down to 153? I mean, what kind of argument can you come up with? No, there's no way he's 153. He should be at least at 150 at least. I mean, what's the argument when you get that deep into like boxing to compare, who's the best and who's not the best in boxing, or who was one of the greatest and who's not. But when you have like a short list, the shorter the list, the more arguments you're going to come out with. And as simple as that. But we're not looking at, I don't think that these are absolutely the best, because a lot of times the best, a lot of times the record doesn't show that you're the best. A lot of people don't understand that. Sometimes your record don't show that you were the best. You might have like a rough start. So you get off like to a rough start. Like I think B-Hot got off to a rough start. And some other fighters, got off to rough starts. And when you get off to a rough start, then you have to make up for it. And some people just shoot off. Like they just shoot off like, pooh, he's 20-0. And he gets to the 21st fight. And he's asleep in the ring. But when we look at stuff like that, so we got to look at that the amateur status. And how important is being an amateur versus just becoming a pro, just starting off in a pro gym and fighting pro. What's the advantages and what's the disadvantages? So we could talk about that a little bit. So the advantages, there's gonna be a few advantages. Well, quite a few advantages actually. And also it depends on what gym you come out of, what your trainer's like, and how much what you've been taking in that gym. Because if you're in there taking a straight beat down, I mean, because sometimes you're in a professional gym, you might be in there just everybody's at war. You know what I mean? Well, there are always wars in professional gyms, no matter where the gym is. There's always going to be wars in there. And the reason there's going to be wars is because of just personalities within the fighters themselves. There's certain personality, or just like this small stuff, Somebody's using somebody's hand wraps. It's anything. You might, somebody gets hit like a certain, because you're supposed to go at a certain pace. You should go at a certain pace. There's no 100% in sparring. You don't go out there and try to kill each other. But it turns into that. And then the coach has to calm all that down. Like, no, that's, he has to call time before the bell. Time, you guys are getting carried away right now. I don't know what happened earlier, but y'all gonna have to squash that, and just, sometimes things happen that's unfair. And that's where you should get used to a lot of the stuff that happens in a real fight. That's when you should get used to it. Like you should get used to like getting fouled or something like that, or even headbutted or whatever else, elbows or whatever else like that. You should get used to that kind of stuff in the gym, because what happens in the gym is that you have a fighter that's that much, he's a lot better than the other fighter a lot of times. And of course they're going to throw you in there. You got to match up. They're not going to throw two of you in there and you guys are throwing nothing but left and right overhands. They're not going to put you in there like that. They're going to put you in there with at least a step or two above you, to train you up. And he's probably not going to, he's going to, probably be a little bit nice to you. He's not going to just piece you completely up. And yes, you go in there running your mouth. So you're not going to get completely pieced up, but you're going to take a little bit, until you get used to it. But putting this fresh, with fresh meats in there, you have fresh meat on this side, fresh meat on that side, ring the bell, ding, they come out, they just throwing overheads. Jab way off. Jab's coming out like this. It ain't no kind of turn on it. It ain't, it's not turning like that. It's just coming out like that, or they just come out like this. They just come out, it's nothing but haymakers. Just haymakers. And not just haymakers this way. If you ever see people when they just first start, they get they panic. So you got this overhands coming this way, and you got all this. You got stuff swinging from over here and that. They loading up here and And see, that will get you totally, totally destroyed if you're fighting somebody who's already here. Because all this, see how long this is? And look, you already got tagged. Look, let's do it. Time to get there, you already got smacked. So they try to, well, I can't speak for all gyms and stuff like that, but I'm just saying they should. But they will throw you in there with somebody. They will throw you in there with somebody just to see. If they think you special, they will throw you in there with somebody just to see what you got. So see what you got against him. And they will throw you out there. And a lot of times that you could weed people out like that. Or you will see the top talent, somebody who's special when you throw them out there like that. You throw them in there and say, oh, shoot, he is pretty good. He's holding his own. And he doesn't have that experience. But he's holding his own. I'm going to try my best to stay away from these older fighters just coming in or just got their names out there or whatever. And, but I will mention this though, MTM has to have, I don't think he can't really live without some kind of spotlight or whatever, he can't. Like other fighters just step aside. I mean, you could talk a good game and say it's somebody else's time or whatever like that, because he said that. How many times has he said stuff like that? That it's somebody else's time. And he says it's somebody else's time, and then guess what he does? He goes and steals time after he says it's somebody else's time. And I'm trying to think of any other fighter that actually does that. Or Nassim Hamed, it kind of does that a little bit, right? But that's overseas. That's not really here. And that's it, man. It's not a whole lot of fighters that really, usually fighters will just graciously bow out. And then you always have these comeback kids. I'm just calling them kids, but they're old. They're older than me, but they're comeback kids. And the reason they're comeback kids is because they see something in boxing that they feel that their style or what they do could exploit, and maybe get them a victory. And also they're looking at my funds, my bank account is a little bit lower than what I would like it to be, and the fans do love me, so maybe I'll come back for a 2-fight thing or 3 fights. And a lot of times it doesn't work out. Every once in a while you have somebody where it actually works out. Muhammad Ali, it worked out. Larry Holmes, actually it worked out, not against Tyson, but that wasn't his last fight. He actually, I think he fought on Father's Day, and I think he was about like 48 years old, and he got a KO. He got a stoppage. Came back and got a stoppage. And that's saying something for you. If you can come back at that age and get a stoppage. Yeah. And it's hard. You see, I'm trying to shake like, oh, wow. It's kind of hard to just like, don't talk about these fighters just coming back. It's hard not to. The only reason I brought up MTM because he probably is going to have a fight. Because we're growing used to him, not being totally, honest with us when it comes to, fighting or saying that he's retired and stuff. Because the whole Manny Pacquiao thing, he was retired, right? But did we see him come back? He came back, made a spectacle. And these are just topics, He made a spectacle. And I don't know if we could qualify this, but maybe we can. That maybe he is just that type of a show that can do what he wants to and cause the buzz in the crowd or amongst fans and media to demand money at any time, even if he's out of boxing. He's just that face, that name. But I'm not saying, don't think I'm saying that he was like a Muhammad Ali. No. Because Muhammad Ali, I mean, even though he fought too many times, if he would have came back after his last fight, we would have still probably watched him. Like, because it's just, that's Muhammad Ali. See? And certain fighters are like that. You come back, you want to see him get hurt, you want to see him win, or something like that. But with MTM, I'm like, is he the show still? Or should he even be mentioned as the show? Why is he still the show? He shouldn't be the show still. Why? And we're asking who's the face. So we have to ask who's the face of boxing. Am I the face of boxing? Maybe I'm the face of boxing. I'm the new face in boxing. I'm not a young face. I got smooth skin, but I'm not a young face of boxing. But maybe I'm the new face in boxing. God dang. I mean, because there's always some type of argument. Because even when he was fighting, he was saying that he's the face of boxing. So, who's the face of boxing? And we have faces. We say, oh, this is the new face of boxing and stuff. But then, in certain regions, you got these fighters that coming out. You're like, oh yeah, yes, that's. Oh man, my boy's gonna get it done, or whatever. And then you had all these so-called upsets, but they wasn't upsets. No, I can go, but one, maybe one was like kind of like an upset or something like that. Well, it wasn't an upset, but it was something else. We're not gonna really talk about it. And somebody brings it up. Even though it seems like I'm bringing it up, I'm talking around it because I'm not bringing up anything specific. You see, but the face. So we go to the Northeast, or what they call our East Coast. There's going to be a face of boxing there, and we go to the Southeast. There's going to be a boxing, like for instance in Florida, and so we'll just take some names out the hatch. We'll take some names. So Southeast, maybe Keith Thurman is the face of boxing there. So in the Northeast, or I'm not taking away from Deontay Wilder. So Keith Thurman, Deontay Wilder, geographically. So we move up. So we go to the north a little bit. So we go Northeast and Midwest. So Midwest got a couple of names. People still throwing. Even though he lost, they're going to throw Jared Hurd out there. J. Rock Williams. But like I said, the face of boxing is one that we would still like to. We're going to pay to see you fight anybody. I guess that's what my point is. And then we got a lot of people fighting out of Vegas that don't naturally belong there. And Midwest, let's say, for instance, the South Midwest. Texas, we got the Texas boys, all three of them. They could be considered like the face of boxing, right? Then we got the Porters and stuff like that, and then back over to the East, we got like the Gary Russells and stuff like that. But are these the face of boxing? Are they do they generate that kind of interest? And what our condition that we're in now, are these fighters gonna still generate all this interest in fighting, in boxing? They're calling it. No, I don't want to say it. But anyway, they're saying that, that this, okay, well, in the small town where I'm at, I actually live in, my address is in one town, but I actually live in a smaller town. I actually live in a smaller town. And they're calling it recovery. And they got all the different ribbons and stuff all on the trees and poles and all that type of stuff. So with this what they're calling recovery, so we'll call it recovery too, there, because that's the narrative then. Okay, so recovery. So with this recovery, are we gonna get the fights that we want? Is the fan base still there? Is there face? Was there a face of boxing before this pandemic happened that we can go back and say that's still the face. Of course, there's going to be a few names out there, but who are we really going to be interested in? Let's see it. Who are we really going to be interested in now? Are we going to be interested in the trilogy, the Wilder and Fury, and that's up in the air, right? Too much controversy with that, because you keep hearing these stories. We don't know if they're true or not. The step aside money and all that. I don't believe in all that. It keeps getting debunked and then it resurfaces, stuff like that. Or do we want to see the Sean Porter versus Errol Spence again? Was that exciting enough? Or Terence Crawford versus anybody? Is that sellable? Or I'm a jump way out of line. Well, a lot of people don't think this is out of line, but I'm gonna jump over here and I'm gonna say that right now is Pacquiao the face of boxing? Because I'm gonna tell you one thing about this, is that a lot of fighters have Pacquiao's name in their mouth. There's only a couple of fighters, besides just trash talking, that have somebody like Deontay Wilder in their mouth. Like Daniel Dubois. Okay, well, Daniel Dubois, you got a fight coming up, right? And so you're going to have to get past your opponent first, right? You got Joe to the joist that you got to dispatch of, right? Before you can start, looking too far ahead. Because a lot of times what happens when you start looking too far ahead, what happens when you look too far ahead, you pass the person up that's right in front of you. And they see that. They're like, oh, he just looking over me like my name is Cotton Balls. Yeah, he looking at me like my name is Kitten Cotton Balls Williamson, the 15th, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just known for not being able to throw hands. But they can't do that either, though. So I'm gonna tell you, so that I don't know how strong of an argument I'm willing to make, but I think it's still out there that Pacquiao is one of the faces, because anytime that your name is in a lot of people's mouth, that means you have to be a face. You have to be a face of boxing. I mean, we got new champions. We got a lot of champions out there, but the fact is the faces. So we're talking about like if, for instance, the faces of is Taylor a face of boxing? He's a face in boxing, but is Taylor a face of boxing? Is he one of the faces of boxing? What about Benavidez? Is he really a face of boxing? And I'll tell you another one, Kubrat Pulev, right? He keeps putting his name out there. But is he a face of boxing? Usyk, is he a face of boxing? Yeah, he's a face in boxing, but is he a face of boxing? Because we got to look at this like the young lions or whatever you want to call them coming up. Right? Are they the new faces? Are they the faces of boxing, or are they just out there? They just out there running their mouth. Look at Don coming up in here. I see all the hieroglyphs up in here, Don. Don, he like one of the first commenter. So the first commenter, Don, to the dot up in here, said Eagles Web Boxing. Got the eagle up good, got the web up good, got the hand up good. The jet bell icon before you sit your ass down, thumbs up, everything peaceful. You know what I mean? If not, that neck is stretched out and wrenched out. He got the line up there. He said lines up here. He said, Dada, hotter than the rest. He said, salute. That's right. He said, salute, fam. He said, real one. He said, and he got on the mic and he said, salute again. But yeah, Don. E Wood up in here too. Salute to E Wood and Don Dada. E Wood is up in the house. E Wood, we don't see E Wood that much, but at Eagles Way of Boxing, he said, salute us, son there. That's right. He said, Eagle. Got the king crown up there. That's what it is, man. My people starting to show up now. All the other people up in here was they quiet. They got nervous. They didn't see no blue up in here, and they got nervous. Like, oh, maybe they was thinking, hey, I can come in there and say something right now, but now that's gonna put it on hold now. Yeah, that's gonna put it on hold. But for the face though, the face. Who is our face, though? I'm not saying they don't have a face in boxing, but who's the face? Is Cinnamon Bun, Canelo, you know I call him Cinnamon Bun, Canelo Alvarez, is he the face of boxing? Is the Gypsy Queen, Coke Crack Queen, is he the face of boxing? Is AJ the face of boxing? And why do we have to ask about the face of boxing? Oh, E-Wood at work. He said, I'm at work now. He cussing and stuff, crying. Yeah, E-Wood always at work. He be sneaking out, though. He makes sure he said, I'm gonna soak up a little bit of Eagles well today. Yeah, we miss your consistency, though, brother. Because you used to be real consistent, though, man. Okay, so Charlos. Big Charlo. We just call him Big. They twins, but Big Charlo. Is that the face of boxing? And that's what I said, too, Don to the daughter. I said, Pac-Man. See, a lot of people don't want to. See, he has no business. To be honest, he has no business to be the face of boxing. But in all reality, Don Dada say Pac. And it's making sense that Pacquiao is the damn face of boxing. It don't make sense, but it makes sense. You know why it makes sense? Because dollars make sense. And if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And Pacquiao is going to make dollars, so it makes sense. That's the face. See? You're selling tickets to get your butt in the seat. Isn't that an old school saying? You're selling tickets to get your ass in the seats, right? So Pacquiao he's that guy right now. Yeah, E-Wood working in the web too. That's right. E-Wood come in. He come in because I don't know. Don come in here and get fresh meat. You know, something foul go on. Don come in here. He get fresh meat. You know, he take Gil Cole's place and come in here. I got to get some fresh meat, and he come up in here, and he get that fresh meat. Whether it's fresh or not, it's fresh in here. Yep, it's fresh up in there. E-Wood. Yeah, E-Wood back there. He got the eagle up good. He got the web up good. Eagle web boxing on that mic. He said, fire. He said, shoot them arrows up. Now, they don't want my arrows, baby. They don't want them arrows, man. And they don't want my other stuff that I got here. They don't want none of that. That's right. I got the old school stuff. I got the what they call medieval stuff. I got some of it. You goddamn right I got it. And I tell you what. I haven't been messing with that stuff lately, but I used to be a lot more lethal than what people would actually think that stuff is capable of doing. And people don't know how capable some of that stuff is of doing a lot of damage. They, oh, man, because they got the ratchet. I got my ratchet over here. What else, son? I got the ratchet out here. They got the ratchet, whatever. Yeah, they got they strap. I'm strapped. They strap. Okay, but back to this. Let me stop messing with people. But anyway, so back to this though. So Don Dada put it out there. Don Dada said, "Pac." Don Dada said, "This day he said, hey, what you got the cowboy hat on?" He said, "A real one." He said, speaking out, he said, "Salute." He said, "Salute, fam." That's it. Yeah. And that's E-Wood and him. I don't know if they're talking about the eagle face or if they're talking about themselves. They could be talking about themselves. I'll take a compliment, though. Yeah. Ali or Shields. It depends on which Ali you're talking about. Baby Ali ain't no joke. And the thing about Baby Ali, okay, here's the thing about Baby Ali, what people don't understand. And I'm calling her Baby. The thing about Baby Ali is that Baby Ali is stubborn like her dad. She ain't taking no kind of L like getting knocked out and shit. She's not taking that. It just makes her madder. And that's her plus. I'm not saying how the fight to go, but that's the plus. People got to understand the plus a lot of times is a fighter's refusal to just go out. Like Marvin Hagler, just refuse. I'm not going down. I'm not going out. See, when you have that in you, that you're not going down, or if you getting up, I'm not going out. Who else had that? Who was the best one to have that? Ali probably, yeah, one where Ali has actually went down though. But who was the best at that? Who's the best at I'm not going down? But it was kind of tragic. It was tragic too, though. Y'all remember? Y'all heard him get it out there. Yeah. Daughter said he said she popping that corn. He said only big. Yep. But we'll see though, because that corn. There's another subject right there. We got the corn and cornballs coming up. But y'all give me the name. Who was the fighter that refused to go down? It's like, I'm not, you ain't, I don't care. I'm fighting your ass. I don't even have the same slick skills as you got, but I'm going to be in there brawling with your ass. There you go. And E Wood, right? E Wood got it though. He said Pac probably can get the most attention from viewers because his name is famous with the casuals. The casuals, see? And that's the whole thing. So casuals, when we talk about casuals are actually big in boxing now. They're not always big, but they have waves of them that come in and out, in and out. They even came in when Ali was around. They came in, they had to. But who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. Then they start learning, they start coming in. They coming in. But now because of the social media and all that, that's another reason why they really come in. But you would think that fights would even be bigger now because of the social media and stuff like that. But there's just not. It's just not. The gates aren't there like it used to be. And I know Gil. I'm surprised Gil's not here because Gil always talking about Keith Thurman's numbers. But we're gonna look at Keith Thurman's numbers without Pacquiao. And not no free TV or something like that, because some people don't want to watch free TV fights. They just don't care. If it ain't nothing else going on, there he is right there. I start talking about him, he show up. He said, well, what happened? Eagle talking about me? He said, Gil Cole, salute to Gil. Gil said, salute Eagle's Web in the chat. That's right. That's all you got, Gil? God dang. Are you on PlayStation or something? Gil come in here, a few words right now, huh? He come in here and don't have nothing to say. But that's that Gil to that Coles, though. That's that Gil to that Coles. So who's the face? Is Keith Thurman the face? No? Or Pacquiao? And people going to get mad at me anyway. I'm mad at Eagle right now. Okay, so is Deontay Wilder the face of boxing right now? Now, don't make me put some of these fighters... Now, when you talk about face of boxing, don't make me put some of them on the face of a milk carton, because some of them belong on the face of a milk carton. Now, we know Rosario is not the face of boxing, but guess what? In his area where he lives, he is the face of boxing. To the casual, he'll probably never be the face of boxing. Yes, he does something really spectacular, which he already did, but he has to do even more. He has to survive the assault of somebody like Charlo. And can he handle that kind of an assault? And a lot of people think he cannot handle that kind of an assault. But over at Eagles, where we always say, let's see it. So we're going to see it. So if there's no arguments besides arguments that I can slam real quick, like Gil's argument, if he tries to argue, that's easy work for me. Not very much work. I like to work sometimes, but most of my coming here it's casual. It's mostly casual talk, because I'm gonna put hands. Once I put hands, I get my W's up in here. I don't even be trying to get W's, but I like to twist stuff on people when they try to get the win off me. Oh, I got a round off of. You get happy because they get one round. That's all you're getting is a round. Because I'm going to come right back and put hands. Gil, he got a round one time. He got super happy. He got one round on me a little bit. I let him have the round because it is what it is. I just let him have it. Even though what he was saying was not cemented. His point was not cemented, right? And I keep bringing it up a little bit because I don't like the fact that he got a round off me. Don't get no rounds off me. I'm hard work, man. I ain't easy work. Yeah, I ain't easy work. Yeah. Gil Cole said, as soon as I come in, I hear the Thurman hate. Oh my, yeah. Ain't nobody trying to hate you. Ain't nobody hating on Thurman. I'm just saying. I said, let's see. That's how we talking here, man. We say, let's see it. So we gonna see what the numbers look like. Okay. Floyd Glove touched look at him, see? He still ain't bringing it up. Floyd Glove touched the mat. Okay, no, let me. Talking about the Thurman hate. Ain't nobody. We don't have to hate on Thurman, but look, don't make me bring it up. Okay. Don't make me start showing it. It's kind of funny because I really don't. I got so many of them up here. I don't even know where it's at no more. And I'll be clicking through all of them and try to get it up there. I'll be like, okay, since Gil's starting, I'll put it up here. I'm like, okay, I'll put it up there and we'll see. And don't make me have to put him on the frauds. Okay. Let me see. Okay, that's not really what I wanted to put up there, but I'm looking for something, and I'm looking for something because Gil come here running his mouth. Y'all already know what it is. Okay. You see, when you come in here running your mouth and stuff, and you saying that somebody's getting hated on, ain't nobody getting hated on. But we're asking, this is the question from Eagles Web, right here. Is this guy that you see in this quick clip right here that's taking this, see, look at this quick left and right. Do you see that? Boom, boom. It's kind of fast, right? Bam, bam. And he's following up with lefts on him. Get your ass down. So is that the face of boxing? Should the face of boxing be on his back? If he's the face of boxing. Now, if you can say he's the lay down face of boxing, then yeah, I give him a thumbs up. That's the lay down face of boxing. But what I was mentioning earlier before you even got in here is that for each region and stuff, that we're going to have champs and we're going to have people that, like I said, everybody's going to have their champ. Like I gave him his props. So you got here late, so you didn't think I gave him his props. I said down southeast, I said that Keith Thurman is probably going to be the face of boxing down southeast. And I said, don't forget Wilder. I said, Wilder's down in that little corner too. I said, don't forget Wilder down there, right? South. Just like I said up north, I said Hurd is the face of boxing, right? Sean Porter might be a face of boxing. J. Rock Williams is over there face of boxing. Down in the Texas boys are face of boxing, right? But who is that guy that's doesn't have to keep worrying about money like that? Oh man, they 50, you know what? Okay, so the argument, the 70-30, the 60-40, and all that. Who is the fighter that doesn't have to worry about that? Who's the fighter that's gonna just sign like, okay, I want this amount of money, and is gonna get that money? Okay, so give me the name of the fighter that can just sit down and just write and just put a number down. Say this, I'm gonna put this number down, just like you do on a car negotiation, and let me know what you can do. Who can do that right now? And this is open for anybody. Anybody can respond to this. Anybody can get it. So anybody can get that. Yeah, and I see what you write about Floyd, but I ain't gonna read it out. They said Ortiz getting the juice knocked off his scalp was worse. Oh my goodness. He got the juice knocked off his scalp. But he did kind of go down and collect himself. He did go down and collect himself. No, Keith slid backwards, man. Anytime you do the sliding, man, if you do the sliding, man, on your ass backwards when your feet going up in the air, that's a knockdown. It might not be a knockout, but you got your ass knocked. You okay, first of all, see, now you started me. Now I'm not gonna completely go in on you because that's what you want. So Eagle gonna reframe a little bit. So when you go down and your feet go up in the air and shit, when you slide like Broner when he went down, when your feet go up in the air, okay, then. And you come in there, not just that your feet were in the air, But you come in there looking all, look at what he's wearing though. So you come in there all showboating, and then look when he hit, look at his feet. Why are you sliding on your ass and your feet going up in the air, and you all dressed up, and you know, I know you got your new girl and stuff like that, but you trying to be impressive and stuff like, yeah, I got this and that, you in there running your mouth. You get your ass knocked down looking as flashy and cool as you can be. Like Ali wouldn't have been the same if everybody was piecing him up and he's sitting there wearing tassels and stuff, right? Like, take them damn tassels off. Stop wearing tassels if you're getting beat up by everybody. If you're gonna be the one that's getting beat up by everybody, stop. Don't be dressing all. Don't be dressing like you got it. Like, oh, I got this, and then you get your ass in there and get your ass whooped. A lot of these fighters come in there like that, and like they really like coming in. They coming in like warriors, They wearing half shorts, like they wearing stuff like I wear in the boxing ring. I wear stuff like that, but mine is not. Actually, because I got it over here by me, I'm not gonna show it. But mine is not for that kind of show. Mine is not for that kind of show. I don't wear it for that kind of show. But if you're gonna show, then show us. Don't be sliding on your ass with your feet all up in the air. And then struggle. So once you did that, everybody starts shaking their head. That's right. Yeah, I know you talking about Floyd. You keep putting up Floyd. Keith got called off he got called off balance? Ortiz got his brain stem removed. And I don't know. See, the thing is, I don't know. You bring up Ortiz a lot. Like, you hate Ortiz. I don't know why you hate Ortiz. I think maybe you're scared of Ortiz or something. Would you fight him? Since he don't have no brain stem, would you fight him? How much would you fight him for? If you was going to get a little bit of a bank, say you was going to get $1.5 million for a 6-rounder, would you get in there with him? And then you're going to throw that on, he professional though. Okay, you can turn professional. You can get trained up and turn professional. He could be your first fight back, or first fight into the ring. Just like everybody's talking bad about James Toney. I said, but you ain't going to lace him up and get in there with him, regardless of how much damage you think he got done to him. You're not going to get in there with him. Because it's going to be it's not going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night for your ass. It's going to be a short night for him. But it's going to be long trying to get your ass over to the emergency room and shit, make sure that you're okay. So give me that point, Gil. Besides talking about Ortiz, because are you trying to deflect, Gil? Are you deflecting? Are you not trying to just put out there who's the face of boxing? Okay, whoever's in here, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you with the web or not. So, if you with the web or not, who's your face of boxing right now? Soccer has a face, right? Is it still Ronaldo? Is he still the face of soccer? A lot of sports have like the face. Michael Phelps was that was the face of swimming, right? And some sports is just like a lot of faces. But some just like stand out. Like every once in a while, LeBron is the face of basketball. Or Stephen Curry is the face of basketball. Or Durant might be the face of basketball. It's different. But it's a bigger sport. There's more participants. There's more participants and stuff. Like, especially even when it comes to championship, there's going to be one champ in boxing, but in basketball, that whole team is getting rings. Okay, so if you're gonna throw Ortiz out there, then so what happened to Wilder's brainstem? Is Wilder's brainstem the same? Are we going to see the same bomb squad? Or is he going to hire a hype man to say bomb squad? Is he the face of boxing? Are you 100% sure that through him being cheated the way that he was cheated, that he is going to be able to recover and come back? Are you got 100 on that? Are you 100% sure on that? See? Because we got a lot of fighters that's doing a lot of doubting right now. They're doing a lot of talking, but they can't be the face of boxing. You can't be the face of boxing when you got a whole lot of doubt. When you got doubt and excuses, or if you just don't have, if you can't just, not just an excuse, but if you can't have a debate about it and just talk about it, because you have to sit down and talk about it. You can't just like, oh, this is what happened. No. Because even I talked about it. I came to Wilder's defense and stuff, right? I don't need to, but I came to Wilder's defense because I don't like that dirt that was done. Right? There's been other fighters that done dirt, right? We're not going to talk about them today, but there's been fighters that done dirt. And fighters that people think is such great fighters. You see what I mean? Hey, oh, this fighter's he a great fighter. He did this, he did that. But he's also was dirty. He did some dirt. And maybe we'll look at it. We'll look at the British champion. We'll look at him. Or British warrior, Don Cockell. Yeah. And we're going to, maybe we'll break that down. We'll look at it and see when he fought Rocky Marciano, maybe we'll take a look at it and we'll see that there was a lot of stuff that was done in that fight. This probably may be reminiscent of the fight with the Coke Crack King and Deontay Wilder. See? Yeah, everybody know who Floyd is, but I said who's the face of boxing right now. I don't care about Floyd. I don't even use that word in here. I just say MTM. I hardly ever say Floyd. There's two Mayweathers that I actually talk about. I don't really talk about Senior that much, but if I was ever going to talk about him, my favorite Mayweather is going to be Roger Mayweather. Regardless of win, lose, draw, whatever. That's my favorite Mayweather. And he was more because he was more entertaining. He was just more entertaining. When he was a boxer, he was more entertaining, and when he was a trainer, he was more entertaining. And I like Jeff. I'm not asking about somebody being fans. See, nobody wanted. See, this is hard. It's hard for somebody. See, then that's not good when we are actually boxing fans. But it's good that I have this discussion. But nobody wants to put it down. Nobody wants. Who's the face of boxing though? And Don Dada put it out there. He said Pac. And Pacquiao is the face of boxing, hands down. They tried to make Cinnamon Bun the face of boxing, but guess what happened? It blew up on him, right? Because when they tried to make him the face of boxing, they threw in this little franchise belt crap, right? And not only did they throw in the franchise crap, then they started doing the blatant protection, like right in front of us. It's like, why you don't want to just smoke with other fighters? And there's another Mexican fighter that you could fight. Benavidez, expose him. Or will he expose you? And Canelo could actually beat him, though, with body shots. He could actually beat him. But he just don't want that work. He don't like that slick. He don't like no kind of movement. But when I seen Benavidez, he's all bent over like a grandpa. Like, I'm like, man, I didn't like his posture in the ring. There's a fighter that's built exactly just for him to put him completely to sleep. Because when fighters hunch over like that, the way he's fighting, there's fighters, believe me, there's fighters just made to tear you in half like that. Like Earl Spence at that weight, if it comes to that, would murderize him. Yeah. Because of that body. And plus that body is just when you got that soft body like that. Yeah. But you say win-lows, are you a Wilder fan? So did I like Floyd inside the ring? I like a lot of stuff that Floyd did. But it was kind of like when see, I'm going to tell you, and nobody's probably told you this before, is that Floyd mostly was one-dimensional. But he calls everybody else one-dimensional. He always says that nobody else has special effects. His special effect was a one-dimensional special effect. And that was the little shell up that he did, right? Leading out there with that right, waiting for you to miss, boom, 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 boom. That's just one style. That's one dimensional. But nobody could figure out that one dimension, right? I mean, he did other stuff, though. He could catch you with other stuff. But he caught you with more stuff when he was younger. You know what I mean? Before he was money, when he was pretty boy, he'd catch you with all kinds of shots. He'd throw everything at you. Just like Whitaker, too. Look at Whitaker when he was a lighter weight. Whitaker threw everything at you. He'd get you up out of there. They threw a lot more punches, and they'd get you up out of there. But when he got older, he turned in one dimension. But that one dimension was good enough. That's why he said he didn't need a plan B or plan C. Because he did the same thing. He just shake his head like, no, you're not getting to me. And when somebody goes like that, that means you are getting to him. But you got scared and thought, oh, I guess I ain't getting to him. You let him use that mind control on your dumb ass, and you just, instead of doing the same thing that he didn't like when he's shaking his head like that, instead of just, like, he got to have his shoulder up, and he starts shaking his head when you get him, instead of just, okay, well, I got you once, I'm going to get your ass again. Instead of saying that, you just, oh, I guess I could get him. That's your fault. That's your fault. That's why somebody like Spence sees through stuff like that and say, well, I think I would have got him at his prime. It don't matter. A lot of fighters think they would have got him. But if you're flat-footed, you ain't going to, there's no way. If you're just flat-footed coming forward, he's made for that. And most of the fighters he fought was flat-footed. Canelo was flat-footed. He didn't have people that was moving all over the place. The one fighter that was moving all over the place that gave him a hard time was who? Who gave him the time? I mean, y'all think that like the tough fight, and don't talk about the early fights when he was pretty boy. I'm not talking about that. When he was Floyd, what happened? When he turned into money, what happened? Do y'all remember the Master? Remember the Master? Remember that? Remember how hard that was? See? Now, why was that hard? Different style. Awkward, right? Fast. And one thing, but he did a lot of good things. Like, he fed off your timing. Like, you was faster than, hey, I got to time you. And that's just through the experience, man. That's that experience that I'm timing you. Boom, got you. It make you think that that you're slower than what you are. He make you lose confidence and stuff. But all that straight up and walking forward, all those type of fighters, yeah, you don't have a chance against that kind of a style. Or just coming in, flying in and stuff. Yeah, you don't have a chance, man. Being patient, being long, having a nice fast jab. Because somebody, and I know we can talk about these, but to match up, but somebody like Tommy Hearns would have put his ass out with that range and stuff. That shell wouldn't have mattered. Tommy didn't care, but if you shelled up like that, because he was so, Tommy was wide up in here, and he'd just go around the outside of that and just bang you out. But, nothing, but he's not the face of boxing, though. So I guess, I'm going to just go with Don Dada and just say Don Dada that Pac is the face of boxing. And we might not want to admit that, but Pac is the face of boxing. We're not going to have all this discussion about the money and all that. It's just that, damn, this is what I want and this is what I'm getting. It's like that. That's the face of boxing. When you can just say, this is what I want and that's what you get, that's the face of boxing. When you come in fighting and arguing about what you can make and all that, then you can't be the face of boxing. If you got all the fans and everybody meeting everybody else, just give him the money that he wants and let's get this done. Then that's the face of boxing. But when they want to shortcut you, okay, well, who's the face of boxing, Gil? He said, Pac, now. Because you want me to say Keith. I can't say Keith. And I'm not going to. And that's going to be your argument with Don and me and whoever else that can respond. That's going to be your argument. Is that we can see that is the face right now. And if you would see, you got here a little bit late because what I said is that should not be the face. Pacquiao should not be the face of boxing right now. He should not. He shouldn't be the face of boxing. But he is. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's get into this right here. So in fight nights, so let's see what you guys think. Yeah. So let's see. And this is this fight. These are five fighters, right? Now these are faces of boxing for sure. They might not have been the total face of boxing because there were people that were more popular at the time. Yeah. So here we go. So Salvador Sanchez, which we did talk about a little bit. We did talk about him because my native fighter just did not have a good. He didn't have the set. He had the. I mean, he had the capacity. Like he could take. The reason that Danny Little Red Lopez was able to hang with him so long is just because he's just tough. And he could just take a lot. But Salvador was something else. Yeah. But we all know that he got in that car accident. But right here I'm just reading. And like I told you where this came from. This is out of Fight Nights. And so it says that, he was an active fighter, 75 to 82. The record was 44, 1-1, 32 knockouts. So he didn't have as many knockouts as Danny did. But look, see, remember I told you? A lot of times when you match up fighters, which people always say that styles make fights, right? A lot of times you match up fighters, and that happens. Is that you can outdo a punch-out artist because he was a knockout artist. Little Red Lopez was a knockout artist. You see what I mean? But he fought him, he couldn't beat him twice. And that, because if he could have beat him, he would have only had 30 knockouts. But just that style. It's just that style. Won the featherweight title, championship, and his career got cut short when he died due to an automobile accident in 1982. In his short career, he beat high-ranking opponents that include Ruben Castillo, among others. And so that's what I was saying. And so when you talk about native fighters, those are actually native fighters too. And you guys got to understand. You guys celebrate a lot of native fighters, but you don't even understand why you like them. You like native fighters, but you don't even know that they're native. So he's native, yes, of course. And then here's another one. This one, a lot of people feel that he was probably the best of all times. And this is not an argument. I'm not taking anything away from Muhammad Ali. Nobody like that. I didn't write this. I just told y'all where it came from, right? And so the next person is Wilfred Gomez. If you haven't seen him fight, man, go look at some of his highlights. You're gonna be like, God dang, he was good. Wilfred Gomez, and he was active for 15 years, says 74 to 89, and he had overwhelming punching power. He won 3 world titles in 3 weight classes, namely WBC Super Bantamweight, WBC Featherweight, and WBA Junior Lightweight. And so these are the ones that they put up. These are the 5 fighters. I'm not saying that they don't have more, but these are the 5 fighters that they have up here under their title, best boxers of all time. So these are, and I don't know what you guys' argument is with any of those first 2, but I know those first 2. I know you probably, well, you're gonna agree with that. Well, what about Ted Kid Lewis? Ted Kid Lewis. Do you believe in that? And he won the welterweight, right? But that was way, way, way back. That's before you guys start even worried about boxing. On several occasions, he was active in the years 1909 to 1929. 20-year career. He's kind of like Pacquiao is. Like Pacquiao's on this thing right here. Then, of course, the greatest is in there. Then Ali was the greatest heavyweight champion of all times. Like betting apps. He won his first heavyweight championship when he was only 22 years old. Everybody knows that. And then Pep, and they talk about Pep, was the most dominant featherweight fighter in his period of boxing. Pep is known for avenging defeats in rematches and regaining his title. And see, when we talk about that, revenging titles, we already know that the guy that's right underneath me always did that. Always came back and got that smoke, right? And so the next one that they have on here is Henry Armstrong. And we already know that Henry Armstrong, he won the welterweight, lightweight, so he was up and down. He's holding titles at the same time too, though. A lot of people don't know that. He's one of the few fighters in the history to hold world championships. That's right. He has a record of beating some prominent people in his era, and he won the lightweight while he was also holding the world welterweight. See, the lightweight, he wasn't even and that's a step. That's two steps, right? Because that's not junior welterweight. That's welterweight and then lightweight. And then, of course, we got Joe Louis on here. So I just wanted to I'm just naming some of these people. So Joe Louis, everybody knows that he was active for a long ass time, 34 to 51. And so I'm not going into the history of Roberto Duran. He was active from 68 to 2001. Is that crazy or what? 33 years. 33 years of boxing. Roberto Duran. So I just wanted to throw those out there just to see what anybody's thoughts. Does anybody not agree with somebody who's on that list? Or is that list pretty good? I like the list. I think that's a decent, short list. Because like I said earlier, is that when you do a long list, there's always going to be a lot of fights. I mean, with people arguing, oh, no, you couldn't. But when you get real long, like I said earlier, when you get real long, say for instance that you got a fighter that was rated at 153. How many people are going to really argue that what is at 153? Oh no, he should be at 150, man, and 149 at least. Who's going to really argue that? But when you just do 5 fighters, that was probably 6 or 7. But when you just do something like 5 fighters, then you're going to have a lot of arguments or who was the best or all that. You're going to have a lot of arguments. Because some people will go back before gloves. Oh, they'll go way back. But you got to understand the politics have always been there. Even when you think a fighter was so much better or he beat a certain fighter or the fighter was scared of him, or don't believe that hype a lot of times. Because they don't call it prize fighting just to be calling it prize fighting. Oh, let's call it prize fighting. And guess what? The fighter is supposed to be the main principle, right? But the fighter is not always the main principle. And you can see that a lot of promoters try to make themselves the main principle. And that's another thing. Do we have which fighter now is the main principle? We have a few of them that's their own boss and all that, right? But being your own boss, can you demand the money? And can you demand the fights that you want? And a lot of these fighters can't demand the money and they can't demand the fights that they want. And so we still are going to be stuck on that that's why we stuck on Pac. Pac should not be the face of boxing, but Pacquiao is the face of boxing. Because you more or less got fighters that loaning other fighters money or just putting their name out there like, oh, I'm going to make you a big name again. And Wilder should be the face of boxing, right? Because he blessed up the Coke Crack King when he was more or less written off. He blessed him up and then end up getting... See, I don't want to get into this. I'm trying not to because it's going to turn into an extra long discussion. But that's what you call somebody who does you dirty. I help you up. I lend a helping hand to you. And this goes back to our history as Native people too. As the originating people from this land. This goes back to us too. I help you up and you stab me in the back. And we're not going to get into the whole discussion about it. But if somebody says something wrong, then I'll start frying. I'll start frying the crap out of them, and I'll start frying the crap out of that bastard. Okay. But like I said, if I help Don Dada up, I help Don Dada up. I give him a hug. I help him up and everything. I give him, he's down. So I give him a couple $100. Maybe I bless him up with $1,000, right? And tell them, go out there, just get back together, get your work in. Matter of fact, I know where you can go get a job at, and get him hooked up, and he's back in society. And then he becomes successful, and then he just craps on me. Just starts talking bad about the Eagle. Oh, Eagle ain't shit, man. Oh, the Eagle did this, the Eagle that. What? To the people that watched him get put up. See? And that's what happened with the Coke Crack King. And I'm not getting into specifics. You guys already know what that is. I'm not going to do that long breakdown, but I might, like I said, you already see. If you look at the end, if you look at the title, you see that I put those letters down there, that the coffin is still open. See? The coffin's still open. What is it? CSO. Coffin's still open. It's not like that you got away with it and we're not going to get you. We still going to get you for it. But I just made the point about Don. I'm a Don. It might be terribly successful. But I was just using that as an example. That I help you up. And that's why even our handshake, we don't shake hands. Like you guys, you shake hands, you guys grab hands here. We grab the wrist. Because that also symbolizes picking somebody up. Because you don't grab somebody by their hand to pick them up. You should grab their wrist. And they grab your wrist. And then you pick them up like that. You see what I mean? It's strong. It's stronger to hold the wrist. They holding your wrist because the hand is next. And the hand's bigger, right? So when you grab the smaller part, now you pick them up. That's our handshake. That's our native shake. Just so y'all know. So if I ever greet you, that's what I'll greet you with. I'll greet you with a native shake. I'll say this is how we shake. Don said laugh. He said lab. They lab at it again, man. You thought Lab was on vacation? He said salute to fam. He said get Gil real quick. He said wait up. No, I'm not. I've had my time with Gil, and I'm always gonna have my time with Gil. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows because before even Gil got modded up, I was on Gil. I stay on Gil. That's my little brother, man. My little cousin. That's my little cousin. I gotta give him trouble. You know, I gotta give him trouble. I gotta bring trouble to him because he gonna bring trouble to me. He gonna bring trouble to the web. That's Gil to the code. If you don't know Gil to the codes, y'all better recognize and get to know Gil to the codes because he will come in here like that, but he will get that thick neck too. He ain't gonna thin your neck out. He will just stomp you out. And so just look forward to that too. If you come in here with the mouthpiece going, he will do that. But I put hands on him all the time, you know. I'll get rid of his comments, time his ass out, all kinds of. He just gonna come back. If I time his ass out, he's just gonna play PlayStation, and then he gonna come back. Oh shit, what is it for? And just thinking about that PlayStation because I wrote that down. Yeah, what's the name of that damn thing again? I think I had the paper that I took out, and I threw the damn thing away, man, with some other stuff. Oh no, I got it. I thought I threw it away. That's Far Cry 5. Yep. I got it. I thought I didn't have it there. Yeah. Gil Koza, who can demand more money than Floyd? I'm not saying somebody could. Gil, but you got to understand, see the dynamics behind that, man. That's something that, it's not really a breakdown, but think about it, man. If you look at what happened with him this is what has to happen. When you have a fighter that makes money like that, like Muhammad Ali, it's all in common. These things are common, Jack Johnson. These things are common. What happens is you have to have damn near 50-50. You got to have so many people hating you that they got to watch you to get beat. And then you got to have so many people that like you and they want to watch you win. It has to be more even. You can't have 90% people liking you and 10% that don't like you. You see what I mean? Because when you got that 50-50, so let's put it in, okay, let's say, for instance, so the number is not going to be, so when I say 90-10, that's going to reflect the percentage, but it's not going to reflect the actual number. So 90% of the people, I got to give, so 90% of the people that like you, okay, so you got 90% of people. Okay, say for instance you got let's keep the number kind of low. So you got 2,000 fans, right? I mean, just out of hate and like. So that means you got so what is you got 1.8 million that like you, right? And then you got the other 1.2 that can't stand you, want you to get your ass knocked out, right? Okay, so I'm not gonna say so. It's not like 10 chairs. You do the math. $1,200 a piece. It's not that. It's not that kind of math. So, because I know what y'all think. Well, that adds up to this. No. Okay, so we got the first number, right? So the first number, 1.2, right? So you got 1.2. Hate your ass. They want you to get KTFO. 1.2, right? And then you got, oh, no, not 1.2. I messed up. Okay, so 0.2. You got 1.8. They want you to win. And you got 0.2 that want you to lose. So the 0.2, or so the 0.2 is that's going to resemble 200,000, right? Now, what we do is we put your fan base up when it comes to hate. So now you got hate. Okay, so another fighter. This is another fighter. He has 2,000, the same, well, let's say he has 2,000 fans, right? So 2,000 fans, right? Those are fans that like him. Now he incorporates another 2,000 that hate him. Now you see the difference there? Because he got a 2,000. Now that's 50-50, but the split is 2,000, 2,000. He actually ends up with more fans because he actually has a lot more fans that hate him and want to see him lose. See? And that's how you become more or less the face of boxing. But in this case, so the face of boxing, so I did two of them, right? So Pacquiao's the face of boxing, but more people want to see him win than lose, right? So if we had a real face of boxing, it's going to even out. It's going to be, you're going to have just as much hate, and you could say Wilder or whatever, but you're going to have just as much hate as you got love. For Pacquiao, they don't have that because most people like Pacquiao. Of course, you got a small percentage like myself that want to see him get flattened out so he can get out of there, because I know he can go sleepy time. Fighters that I know can get knocked out, I like to see them get knocked out. When I know you can be put to sleep, and I think there's time for your ass to retire, then I want to see you get put to sleep. I don't have that kind of heart to feel oh, you shouldn't have been in there. Not me. You got your ass in there, then you get your ass in there and fight. If you get knocked the hell out, then that's what you get. Well, I hope you guys understand what I was saying. So the 50-50, so you're going to bring in more hate because they're going to see clips of, I hate him. He talked too much. Well, boom. Now you got another fan, but your fan is on the other side. He's a hate fan. Everybody's going to have some hate fans, you know. It might be smaller than that with Pacquiao. He might not have as many hate fans. Or he might have more hate fans, but his hate fans are at the point to where the dynamic of it is that you can have hate fans that they ain't even going to watch you. I hate you so much that I'm not even going to watch your fights. F you. You know? Don Dollar said TMT is out of boxing. Keep teaching facts. You got the thumbs up. That's it. TMT is out. And I got the Far Cry. Then Don Dollar right back in there. I said, we not pocket watching boxing Eagle Web. That's right. Let's see the damn fights. The fights fan in history deserve better. He said, lose to win another fight. That's it. If you lose, get your ass back in there and fight. But what I was talking about there, Don Dot, is I'm talking about, like, if you take the 50-50, big 50-50, the haters, like, if you incorporated some more hate, and then you take the other side, you know, your winning side, like the people, oh, yeah, that's my favorite fighter. I want to see him win. We don't have that fighter with that kind of a balance. Because if you start naming fighters, most of them, because of the fan base, because it's not a huge, when I say the fan base, so if you split it up ethnically, not ethnically, but ethnic, ethnicity, ethnicities, different races, different nations. If you break it up like that, then you may have the hate, but the hate is not going to be as big because your fan base is like, for instance, a lot of times, I don't know what, the separatism in boxing, which I'm not a separatist in boxing. If you're a good fighter, you're just a damn good fighter. I got to give you props. Like, he's good. I got to give you props. I might not watch your ass all the time. There might be like a little bit of inside hate, but not like that, not blatant hate. But you got fighters that Okay, say for instance, you got the so-called African American fighters. You're not allowed to, have an African American fan base a lot of times. Like you can't, if you claim that African American is your favorite fighter, then they African American. They get mad. But Mexicans can say that their favorite fighter is Mexican, or Puerto Ricans can say that their favorite fighter is Puerto Rican. They're all confused anyway. Both of those Mexicans are confused and Puerto Ricans are confused. Here comes the knowledge drop. It's because both of them they're both natives. Puerto Ricans are more or less they're mixed with the Pequot people, the people from up north, like in New England. They're mixed with them. They're mixed with some Spaniards, Spanish, of course, from the invasion, and they're mixed with African. But they're natives though. And some of those people down there, the Arawak people and the Taíno people, those are natives. Same thing with the Mexicans. Those are natives. They just don't. It's not allowed. They too prideful to use their real nation, and so they come up with something that we supplement them with and give them a name, and that's what they think. Because Puerto Ricans think that Barica. They think, but no, you're a Taíno. See, that's the knowledge drop of it. It's not up for debate because that's what it is. Sometimes things just is what it is, and that's what that is. And all throughout there, Cuba, all of them, same thing. Even all the way down to Brazil, all of them. All mixed up, but they natives. But the way we look at it as fight fans is, I'm gonna stick with the blacks, the so-called. I'm gonna stick with the whites. I'm gonna stick with the Mexicans. I'm going to stick with the Irish. I'm going to stick with this. Boom, 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 boom. But then that's why we had, Ali was smart. He took all those things together and went everywhere and then become the people's champ. But do we have a people's champ today? Or is it going to be some separatism shit? You Mexicans, man, down for the raza and all that. Or are you going to just be mad and all worried about your race? Or are you worried about the sport? In basketball, nobody gives a shit about the race. They may, a handful of dummies, but if you good at something, you just good. In baseball, you was good. Like we talked about before, like way back, we went back to when Barry Bonds was playing baseball. We went way back then, which was still in 2000 something, right? But we went back then. A lot of people stopped watching baseball because of that, and of different races too. Different nations, different races, different nations, different whatever kind of call you want to give them. They stopped watching the baseball, right? I stopped watching baseball because I want to see Barry Bonds knock that shit into the water. Because I don't understand. That's something that's past my understanding. I can hit. Now, one thing I already told you guys is I know how to hit. I can hit. But I'd be damned if I can be hitting baseballs all from inside of a stadium, all out into the water and shit. And the wind's blowing against it. Just think if that was flat ground out there, ain't no telling how far them baseballs would roll. But it's water. It's like, God dang. When people do stuff like that, that's when they start gathering. Like, see, that's why I say fakes, because he was the face of baseball. But that's when you start to gather everybody. And he had hate too. Because some people, I want to see him strike out. No. What's his on base percentage and sluggers percentage? What was that? God dang, wasn't that crazy? On base, always on base. Whether he hitting a home run, he still end up on base because they were so scared of him that they pitch out. And that's what we need in boxing. We need a fighter that people are just so scared of. They duck, and we had that. But like I said, it's hard not to get into it. But they effed up our face of boxing for the Americans. I'm telling you right now, they messed up our face of boxing. They messed it up. And so that's why we dragging back up Pacquiao. That's why Pacquiao's the face of boxing, because they messed up our face of boxing. They effed that up. Shit. And you talking about, like, but Don brings up the pocket. Yeah, I don't care about how much money they make. But I'm saying who could demand money too, though. Who can demand the money? The face is going to be able to demand money and get the attention and everything. We can't wait to sit our ass down and watch the fight. Tyson was that guy. Remember the other Tyson, not this Tyson. Tyson was that guy that we wanted to see fight. A lot of people wanted to see him lose. I had friends that said that Evander was going to take him out and stuff like that. I didn't see it that way at first, but then I was like, okay, well, Evander's hard-headed too. Until he got a little bit older, then he started taking knockdowns and stuff. But Vander Holyfield, once he was setting his mind, he hard-headed. He wasn't good with if you were a tall boxer, good at he had a real good jab, he couldn't do nothing. Because he had to his movement to get in, he's still kind of flat. He would have to try to almost rush in and then start throwing a barrage of punches. But it didn't work. It worked one time against Riddick Bowe, but most of it just didn't work. It didn't work out for him. But like that there. So let me get back to Don. Okay, so we're not that. Then Gil said, all I ask is, who can demand more money than Floyd? Just name it. I'm not talking about. Stop bringing his name up in here. I'm gonna time your ass out. Stop bringing his name up. I'm not saying who can ask for that. And Gil, see, all you're doing is helping my case, because that's what I'm already saying. I'm saying that more people. I said you have to get to that 50-50. And somebody put up a 1 if they understood what the hell I was saying about the 50-50 and the 10-90. Y'all put up a 1 if you understood what I said, because that went over Gil's head because he stuck with his point. He's still going to bring up MTM because he thinks that I'm going to bring him up. And I'm not going to talk about that, because that is what we're saying that has to come. Don't think that all of that money came from people loving Floyd. I said his name, but don't think that's what it came from. And D&D Sports Opinions up in here. Hello to you in the chat. Hello to D&D. It's back finally. Haven't seen you for a little while. We know you roll with Don. We didn't know who you was at first though. So we keep our apologies out there. We didn't mean to rough you up a little bit, but that's what you get in Eagles Web, because even Eagle can get it. It don't matter. Anybody can get neck up in here. And then Gil Cole said, why did people want to see Floyd lose? He said, I will tell you. Okay, let's see it. What fight happens first? He said, Ali and Shields, or EJ and Bud. He said, I'll wait. Whatever happens, Don, it happens. That's what we need to get that. Oh, so he said, so you going to give Fury his props if he beats Wilder in the rematch? He said, I will, and still be a Wilder fan. I didn't say I wasn't a Wilder fan. I never said, oh, I'm not a Wilder fan. I'm not a Wilder hater or nothing like that. I'm a Tyson Fury hater. And I'm not a Tyson Fury hater. I'm a cheat hater, a blatant cheat hater. See, I'm not a hater of a fighter cheating in a fight. I'm a hater of a fighter blatantly cheating in a fight, because you're going to get cheated. And that's not really cheating. You're going to rough somebody up. That's the ref's job. The ref is like, oh, stop that. But when you got a ref that's just like, okay, let's go. Let's look. Shit. I told you I didn't even want to do it. Huh? And that's what I was saying. I said, I don't want to do it, but then Gil keeps bringing it up. And so I take it, I'm not even, see, you see that? So when I bring it up here, and I see my brother Jay Cooley then fell up in the house. Jay Cooley says shalom to Eagle and the brothers and sisters, yeah? And shalom out there to Jay Cooley, man. E6 to Quad, man. Father is the one with those arrows. Okay, so look at this here. So I'll give him his credit, but when you blatantly, so, and this is, in this little thing right here, this picture right here, that's Valine. That's Otto Valine. Remember Otto Valine was whooping Tyson Fury's ass, and what did Tyson Fury come back and do? He thumbs him in the eye. And that makes his left glove come open. He's like, damn, just got thumbed in the eye. But in his right hand is in his glove right, even though that left does still look a little suspicious. The right is on good, but he couldn't hurt Valine the way because he just don't have that kind of punching power. So when you blatantly cheat, it's different. See? When it's blatant, then I got a problem with it. That's all I'm saying. When it's blatant. When it's blatant, I have a problem with it. So giving him his props, I don't know. I could probably give him his props, but I don't know what kind of damage this kind of stuff done. Because before any kind of doctor's reports or any other thing, all that shit came out, I had already put this up here. And y'all see, I didn't change this screen. This screen been up here for months. Since what, February? When was the fight? February, January? This screen has been up here. If you look at it, what does it say? Real fast, it says, and it's flashing by you, it says gloves can't do that. It says gloves can't do that. It's a palm strike in back of the head. Because that's the right hand, so it's a palm strike. If it was the left hand, it would have been a fist in back of the head. If you hit somebody with your bare knuckle fist in back of the head, it's gonna mess them up, to say the least. Right? It's gonna mess them up, and so that's why when I did that breakdown, that's when I showed you guys all this stuff, right? So this is why he doesn't get credit with me. I'm not gonna do all of them, but I'm saying that this is why he doesn't get the credit from me. He can get the credit from somebody else. Somebody go, I give him his props. Like you said, you was going to give him his props. For me, I'm going to still think that some of these tactics had a lot to do with Wilder not being able to come back. Same thing. Okay, so let's look at this like this. So, was Cotto ever able to come back after what happened to him? And there's been other fighters too, though. Okay, way before that. There's been other fighters, okay, before that. Right? Panama Lewis, remember his fighters? See? Well, look. And this is why I'm not giving him the credit. If he does win, this is why he doesn't get the credit. Right there, because of stuff like that. See? Do you see the tension in his arm? You see the tension in his right arm? That is a pulling tension. That's the kind of tension. That's what it looks like when your arm is about to pull somebody down. Like this. Let me see if I can turn it. Let me see. I can't really turn it. See? When I'm pulling in, let me put my hand there. So if I do this, you can see it. See? That means I'm pulling you in to my left bare knuckle, see? And that's why he can't get that. I did this breakdown before, though. But this is why. Always behind. Why are you behind the neck so much? Why are you constantly behind the neck? And that's why he don't get the credit from me, Gil. I'm just saying that he don't get the credit from me. Yep. And then Don Dada right back in there. He said, if you win the fight, he on the mic said, fam, was right. That's right. But we looking for that win. Yeah, but we already know that, Gil, about that. He said if you know that Fury is a cheater, then you better learn how to out-cheat Fury. That's what I brought that up, Gil. You was in my live, man. Because I said that we need to get somebody else in Wilder's corner. I told you, one of them old school dudes that know all this cheating shit. Didn't know how to... I'm not going to put it out there. I don't have a Patreon or nothing like that or something. I'm just not going to show y'all stuff. I'm not going to show you something right now. Because all the stuff that I said could happen to Wilder, and this is not me going against Wilder at all. All that stuff that I said, Don and them know, they was in here. All the stuff I said that could happen to Wilder, I did a long breakdown on it. I said all the stuff that could happen to Wilder, all that shit happened to Wilder plus some. But there's some stuff that you could do out of the angle of the ref that you can combat that, like the cheating tactics, you can combat that. There's a lot of things that you could do to combat that shit. And a lot of it, I'll just put it this way, a lot of it doesn't have anything to do with your hands. Because I'm not trying to get this information out there again, because the first time I said some stuff, all the stuff that I said came to fruition and plus some extra shit. But I'm going to put it to you like this, that a lot of the stuff, you don't have to use the glove. You don't have to use the glove to do it and to get away with it. It has shit to do with the gloves. It don't have to be gloves, but you could do, there's a lot of things you can do. A lot of things you do. And that has to do with a smart body, smart motions of a fighter. You know, the body movement and stuff. The body, not just the mechanics, but just your movement, your subtle movement. And that's why you're making it a dance and stuff. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what, MTM, as much hate as he got, as much love as he got, he was actually good at doing that, even though he stayed one-dimensional. A lot of people, why he stay one-dimensional? Because that's all he had to do. He was real good at moving in a way with that, shelled up. He was good at moving in a way to take you out of your whole boxing, not just only your stance, but your whole rhythm. And there's things you can do. Even if somebody's cheating, there's things you can do. There's things you can do. I'm not going to put those things out there right now. I don't know if I will do a video or something. I just don't know if I'll do it. I want to, just because we're thinking about it, we're talking about it. But let's see how the fight goes. Then we'll discuss it. And we'll see how many people want me to do it. Because we can do it. Because there's other things that you can do. Yeah, that's right, Don. He said, "Free cheap." He said, "Cheap ass cheap." Yep, thumbs up. That's right, Don said, "Let's see it." Yep. Don Thomas said, "Will Wilder fight at 38 to 40?" I don't know. Wilder would probably go until Wilder. I think Wilder will hang it up in like 3 years. Wilder got like about 3 years. He'll stop. 3 years or less. He's not gonna fight everybody. He's not gonna wait around and fight all these people. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's gonna actually stay in there. He should probably he should get out, because I don't know the psychological damage that kind of stuff might have done, and I don't know the physical damage that type of stuff might have done. You know what I mean? Because that was a lot of blatant cheating. And see, Wilder went into his sparring and stuff, I would suppose that he went in there like just sparring clean. Fighters were told, sparring partners were told, this is what I want you to bring at Wilder. And that's what they bought at Wilder. Nobody came at Wilder and his coach said, now grab him behind the head. See? Now, I'm teaching Wilder and I'm teaching you guys, right? That's what you do, is you bring somebody in that knows this stuff, but you bring your sparring partners in to do all the dirty shit. I'm not saying that they do it, with the same intentions. But if they're doing it that way, you can kind of gauge what you need to do to counter it. You see what I mean? And then you come back with your own shit. I've always taught that you fight fire with fire. And that doesn't mean like the flame fire, right? And which you can do that also. People don't know that, do they? That you can put out a fire with fire. A lot of people don't know that. Oh, how are you going to put fire out with fire? You can. You can put fire out with fire. And sometimes you can put fire out with like a different kind of fire, like an explosion. An explosion will put fire out. Yeah, because I was in artillery, and so some of the guns were so big and powerful that you could have a gas lit fire in their vicinity, and they would actually blow that shit out. Once you fired that shit, that shake the ground and that fire would go out. So you're firing off that shit, and everything would just go out. Everything. down the back of Gay's head. Mayweather avoid tough fights, PBC styles. Oh my goodness. We're gonna see though, man. That's what we're here for, man. We're here to see, because we got to see what the hell's going on. How many hiders we got out there? Yep. So we don't want you to be out there hiding, man. Get your ass in the ring and fight. And this was my 20-minute show today, but but we'll get back at it again, man. I had to bring up a few things. Of course, we never get to cover everything in Eagles Web Boxing, no matter how fast and how quick Eagles Face's tongue is. It's not deceptive. It's not split. It's not a lying tongue. It's just fast. And a lot of times we don't get everything out because we got our distraction. Our built-in champ is our distraction. And we can't wait to get back to the Eagles Web Championship because I want to see Don Dada dethrone Gil. As much as I like Gil, I want to see him dethrone. So, Don, make sure you stay longer than him when you come in because I'll drop a couple of, you know what I mean? I'll drop some questions here and there. Maybe I'll start before I leave. I'll throw a couple of questions out at the end of the show, so that way when his ass leave early, he's not gonna have none of the information. While he playing PS4, you and Jay Cooley and other people, y'all get the answers and stuff. Dethrone his ass, man. Even though that's my boy still though, but we got to get his ass out of here. And just like I got to get up out of here, man. I ain't know I was running this late. Man, nobody told me, man. Y'all never tell me, man. Y'all just stay in here listening to Eagle, man. Let Eagle go, man. Anyway, my shout out to all the real people that I see. And my shout out to all y'all that mess with me, man. Nothing but blessings on this Monday, man. Nothing but blessings. Right?